Man, that was creepy. I mean, really properly weird and creepy as. I've just been to see Longlegs. Didn't know much about it a couple of weeks ago. Not that long ago, actually. I came to see A Quiet Place day one, and I arrived during the ads and trailers, because I always do. Never on time. It's just a thing. So the trailers were already on, and I didn't realise at the time, but I was coming into a completely empty screen, a big empty screen, and the trailers were already going, because Quiet Place Day 1 is a 15, therefore you know you're going to get trailers for horror films. And this trailer was on, and I didn't know what it was, and it was really creepy, and I was fumbling about in the dark trying to like decide where I was going to sit, and then managed to get to my seat, and the trailer was for a film called Longlegs. And then by the time I was sat down, I kind of got my bearings and my eyes adjusted, and I realised there was absolutely nobody else on the screen, and it was quite a creepy moment. It's quite a creepy film. It is excuse me, it is written and directed by a gentleman called Osgood Perkins, or Oz Perkins. He is the son of one Mr. Anthony Perkins, best known for playing Norman Bates in Psycho. So he comes from a Hollywood family, I guess. He comes from being around films since he was a kid. Apparently he plays a young Norman Bates in Psycho 2, which I have not seen. I love the original. It's an incredible film. So yeah, he has written and directed this film. The story follows a young FBI agent called Lee Harker, played by an actress called Micah Monroe, who I have not seen in anything before. Monroe is new. She is quite an odd soul. I'm gonna just say it and be blunt about it. She's quite clearly autistic. They never say she's autistic, but it's quite obvious that she is. So yeah, it's she is just coming up. I mean, the obvious parallels are gonna be Silence of the Lambs, and they are obvious parallels, and I think that's a totally fair comparison. But Agent Lee Harker is not Agent Clarice Starling. They are different. They are both women in the FBI. They are both mentored by a man. They are both very good at what they do, but they're definitely different. Quite early on in the film, Agent Carter, not the Marvel one, played by Blair Underwood, describes describes Harker as being, what was it? It's intuitive, but it's like, is he described as being extremely intuitive? Basically, it suggested that she might have sort of low-level psychic powers, in like a really strong intuition. Quite early on in the film, they're going door to door looking for, you know, their killer, and she literally knows which house it is. She's like, it's that one, and she can't explain why. She says at one point it's like somebody tapping her on the shoulder, and it's something she's always experienced. So she's brought in on this case. It's been going for decades that entire families are murdered, but it's classed as like 3 murders and a suicide, because the perpetrator is always the father, who then at the end takes his own life. So perfectly normal families living perfectly normal lives in cookie cutter houses in America. All of a sudden one day, all of them are dead. And it appears that the dad has flipped and butchered his entire family. And this is what they've been chasing this guy, and he leaves notes at the scene and always signs them Longlegs. Which is just creepy in itself, isn't it? So she's brought in on the case, and as the film progresses, well, it would appear she has more of a connection to the case than we had first realised. Praise points, if you like. It's very good. It's very creepy. It has some real tense moments. I'd actually, another parallel with Silence of the Lambs, I'd actually call this a psychological thriller, not a horror. It is horrific in places. There are dead bodies and crime scene photos and murders that are gruesome, but actually it's about the FBI chasing this absolute monster, but at the end of the day, he is a man. And is there a supernatural element to it? Perhaps. The character of Longlegs is played by Nicolas Cage. Jesus H. Christ, he is so bloody unsettling in this film. So, I mean, Nicolas Cage is weird anyway. He's a weird dude. We've known this for years. He's just an odd guy. And he seems to have reached a point in his career where he'll just do whatever he wants. Do you know why? Because he's Nicolas Cage and he can. So he made like Renfield last year, and he made, what was it, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Pedro Pascal. He also stars in my favourite action film of all time, The Rock, opposite Sean Connery. You know, he's played bloody Ghost Rider for Marvel. He's hammed it up like nobody's business. He just does what he wants. He's in prosthetics in this. He is so goddamn odd and scary and just unpredictable. So genuinely made my skin crawl whenever he was on screen. Micah Monroe's really good. She's got this otherness about her. Like I say, I'm convinced the character is autistic. She doesn't seem to read social cues very often. She becomes fixated on her work. She does a lot of sort of decoding of things. He writes in this strange, what appears to be like occult alphabet. She cracks that code. So yeah, I think there's an argument for her being autistic. I've just spotted some of my friends out the window, but I don't think they can see me. Yeah, I'll just wave at them in the middle of a review. It would appear she's crying. They have not been to see the same film as me, trust me. So yeah, interesting film. I'm dead excited to see what he does next. I did not know where the film was going, and it has genuinely unsettled me. So yeah, it's quite a trip. It's quite slow. I liked it. It was a real slow burn. The trailer was quite disjointed, and I didn't know if it was going to be like wall-to-wall jump scares, or I just couldn't get a handle on what the film was going to be like. And actually, the screen was quite busy, and it was quite slow and procedural, but I liked that. But then at the same time, it wasn't like FBI agents staring over crime scene photos and stroking their chins. It was just, it mainly focused on her. She was really good. Big up Alicia Witt, who I haven't seen in a film for years, who I know from decades ago from the sitcom Sybil, and she's also in the wonderful Mr. Holland's Opus, which is a total 90s favourite of mine that never gets played on telly. So I really like seeing Alicia Witt. She plays Lee Harker's mum. So yeah, good cast, good story, well directed, creepy as, well shot. Nicolas Cage, amazing. Micah Monroe, one to watch. It's a massive thumbs up from me. I really liked this film. It was proper creepy and really interesting. That's it. Katie out.